Also included in today.
He's an offensive lineman anyway, so he'd be pancaking.
Exactly.
Yeah, he'd be pancaking anyway.
I'm an old center, man.
I know he's a big boy.
I'm an old center. I like to get dirty.
Uh-oh.
So, Jim, in honor of you, I too have won a few championships back in the day. So I thought I'd just go ahead and bring out my, I just want to be a little icy today. That's I just, just kind of want to, in honor of you, Just had to.
Well, I appreciate that, but I mean, what you got 4 with the Giants? Total?
No. I'm talking. These are the ones that I won personally.
Oh yeah, really?
Yes, sir. Oh no, not high school.
College?
I was an old man when I won these. I was an old man when I won these. I still feel it to this day. Trust me. I sound like Rice Krispie treats when I get out of bed.
The olden days when you saw the sneak. He loves his rings and his belts.
There you
None
go.
of them fit.
Yes.
But
Yes. We'll talk about that later. I was styling and profiling on the side.
We definitely need to talk about that.
Hey Jim, it's easy to win rings when you're 35 years old playing in Pop Warner. So you get yourself a ring.
Hey, look, a win is a win. Okay, I don't care if I ran for 2,500 yards in the first half every game.
You say that he's playing against those 9-year-olds.
Yes.
No.
No. That one thing.
Jim, respectfully, they were 5- and 6-year-olds, and they were some tough-ass 5- and 6-year-olds. The looks can be deceiving. They bite at the ankles, and they bite hard. That's all. I still got marks to prove it.
So, anyways, guys, let's get to it. Because we got Jim here for a little bit of time. He's not going to be able to stay for the full episode, but I want to make sure to take advantage of all the time we got with him. And so today we are going in depth into the NFC East teams, and we started off with the last year's NFC East champs, Dallas Cowboys. Now, I can tell you that every time I say Dallas Cowboys, I always say Dallas sucks. But that's just me.
You're right.
Now that we got that out of the way,
No.
let's go. Let's talk to all three of you guys. I want to hear what you guys have got to say about the upcoming season with the Dallas Cowboys. And I'm going to start with the man in the middle, Jim.
Well, the thing is that, yes, we lost Amari Cooper, but I wasn't a big Cooper fan. And the reason is he was a good player, but he didn't bring everybody's energy out. He wasn't a motivated or a outgoing guy. He kind of did his job, and that was it. But I think that CeeDee Lamb is going to be more dynamic than he is. The problem with CeeDee Lamb is they never used him in different positions. Now they'll move him around. They're going to have to. But the key to the whole season for the Cowboys are their offensive and defensive line. They're going to have to play at a high level. If they don't play at a high level, they're going to have some issues. If they do the same thing that they did last year, they're going to struggle. They're really going to struggle. They cannot have all those penalties. And they were just, penalties all sides. The holding, they got rid of Connor Williams. They got rid of Laurel Collins. The guys that replace them are going to have to play at a higher level. So that's the thing. So that's, to me.
And I'll ask this question afterwards. Let's go with the Cowboy. Chris, what is your thoughts on the Cowboys this season coming up?
Okay. Well, first of all, thank you for having me on the show. And just a little information for you. The Cowboys are 72-54 against the Eagles. I believe this year, I kind of agree with Jim about the offensive and defensive line. I'm really concerned about Tyron this year. I just thought he had a couple flat tires last year. That's just my opinion about an offensive lineman getting beat. I just hope he has a healthy season And I think our real key is our quarterback, because our quarterback is the best quarterback in the NFC East. So if that goes, the Cowboy goes.
And you know, Dad has never had a losing record as a pro. Did you realize that?
Never.
He never had a losing record as a pro.
Well, I mean, he was on the team even though he was hurt.
But
So,
he was hurt,
he was
right?
there on the Cowboys last year.
Yes, but he was hurt.
You
correct?
win, you lose. You're still on the team, right?
Yeah.
So can't say that. Can't say that he didn't have.
As a starting quarterback,
Carter.
how about that? We can say that. As a starting quarterback, he has never.
He also has a lot more playoff losses than wins, correct?
That's because he's been in a lot more playoffs.
Oh, no. Come on now. Come on now. No. I mean, that was funny though.
A lot of those games.
So did Tony Romo.
Well,
Yeah.
he is 7-3 against the Eagles. You know.
Yeah, that is.
Well, and I will say this. Let's put it this way. He has the same playoff record as the quarterback, Russell Wilson. He has the same playoff record. Well, no. Now Dak's 1-4. I'm sorry. Russell Wilson is in the last since Russell Wilson. I'm sorry. Since Russell Wilson won the Super Bowl, he has the same playoff record.
Okay. I'm just saying that
I was going to say he won. He was been in the Super Bowl twice.
Right. Yeah. So he's had 4 playoff games. He's lost 3 of them. So let's be for real. Now, True, we got to talk to True because he's part of this panel as well. That's why we got the Cowboys on top right now,
as usual.
So,
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, I'm gonna feed off that offensive line. We've got the new kid on the block playing, guard where they're sliding them in there. Everyone forgets about Steele, how he did on the other side of the ball. I think we're going to be good on the offensive line. Tyron did give us some worries, like you said. Those injuries were nagging injuries. I saw him in Minnesota. I was sitting right behind him, seeing the ankle, that foot situation going on, and he was trying to overcome that, but he was trying to get into the ball game. And those are the types of things he needs to avoid. He needs to make sure that he's healed up, make sure that he gets the rest that he needs before he gets back in there. It was a tough season last year for him, but offensively, I think we're going to be okay. They had, if you can believe this, the PFF, they rated Kellen Moore the number 2 offensive coordinator in the league, right behind Andy Reid.
They did. They really
that
did.
just tells me how bad the PFF is.
Yeah, I'm just saying. But
it is what it is. I saw that too. Truth.
Yeah.
Hey, truth speaks the truth.
Yeah, and so there's going to be, there's going to be some situations where the Cowboys are going to be placing themselves where they're not going to want to be, I believe, in the beginning of the season. But I think things will go in to the bye week, and after that, it'll be taken off. I think we're going to be good for the NFC East.
Yeah, and the best head coach in the NFC East is Ron Rivera. There's no question about it. Ron Rivera is the best, and does he have the best talent? With help, they got a chance, and that is going to be the problem with every team in the NFC. Every team in the NFC East has gotten better.
Yep.
All would agree on that.
Agreed. Well, it's funny you bring up the coaches because I believe that McCarthy is one of the weaknesses for this year for the Dallas Cowboys. And the only reason why I say that is now he got a little fire under his ass right now. The situation with Jerry Jones. The thing I don't like about media, okay, and we're not part of the media. We're actually some guys that just love football. We talk about it. The moment Sean Payton sold his house, that's what everybody started talking about. And the one thing Jerry Jones could have and should have done is give him a vote of confidence.
He did today.
He today?
Yeah, he did. He said that don't think about. And here's the thing: Peyton worked for the Cowboys. I was on the same staff.
Mm-hmm.
I was on the same staff with Sean. Sean wasn't even the offensive coordinator. Mo Carthon, your New York Giant, was the offensive coordinator.
Right. He was a quarterback coach, right?
Yeah, he was the quarterback.
Mm-hmm. Well, so maybe thank you for correcting me. But I mean, last I heard, there was a lack of vote of confidence coming from Jerry Jones.
Now, and here's the thing. on NFL Network, they said they would fire Mike McCartney by Thanksgiving. Jerry Jones does not fire coaches during the season. I'm telling you that now. He's never done it, and he will never.
Yeah.
You're right.
And I don't recall that ever happening.
Unless you're
Because
Wade
it's never
Phillips.
happened.
Unless you're Wade Phillips.
Unless you're Wade Phillips.
He did not want to let what's his name on the plane after he lost to the Eagles. That's why they had a hard time leaving the state of Pennsylvania. He had to get talked into letting the coach board the plane after he lost.
You mean Garrett?
Yeah.
Garrett in 2019.
But he let him on. He let him ride in the backseat.
He did let him on. Barely.
I never recall losing to the Eagles. True Blue, have we ever lost to them? I never recall.
We've lost to him.
I just tend to
still in Philly. And he's like, they're having a hard time. They got plane trouble. There was no plane trouble. The only trouble was they weren't letting the coach on.
Yeah, and what's funny is Philly and I were sitting outside the stadium when that happened. We were sitting there looking at everything, and it was during the COVID year, which there was only X amount of people in there, but we saw the buses being held up, and we're like, wait a minute, what's going on here?
Yeah, it was plane trouble. It was plane trouble.
It was the plane.
That plane was in trouble.
Because
that plane was in trouble.
This happened too when we were coming back from Philly. One of the minority owners had a heart attack, and we had to take it down and land. I think we landed in D.C. or somewhere.
Oh wow!
Because I'm serious about that. He had a heart attack because it was kind of shocking that we lost to Philly.
Very.
Well, I'm sure you guys have been shocked a lot. Especially since the year 2000, because since you left the team, Jim, it just ain't been the same.
Oh my goodness! Now Andy Reid, I got to give him credit. He is a tremendous coach. That was the biggest mistake Philadelphia's ever made. Andy Reid.
It was his time. He had lost the locker room, and that was the problem then. But we're not talking about the Eagles. We're talking about the Cowboys.
The Cowboys.
Let me ask you this.
Yes.
Let me ask you this, all right, because I asked all three of you before the draft if you would get a second-round pick for Zeke Elliott, would you take it?
And I said
all
yes.
All three of you said no.
No, I said yes.
You said no. You said no. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Because I was real particular about it. All three of you said no.
Yeah,
you might now, in hindsight, you might believe yes.
I still say no. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no. The second round, to me and I'm just not doing it. I just don't have the people behind him. Zeke Elliott can break through that line. He can get the yards needed, but the run defense or the pass blocking that he gets behind that line and how sure that Dak Prescott feels when he's back there to have that block in there. Pollard, I love him. He's great, but he just doesn't have that what Zeke has. It's just that little extra step.
Well, here's the thing, and I think about Zeke, and this happens to running backs. They don't just deteriorate slowly. It is a rapid deterioration. The big thing with Zeke, can he stay healthy? Because he had the PCL injury, and that's the thing you have to worry about. Because running backs, you look at what happened to Saquon Barkley, and he's a great talent, but he had that knee injury. He's never been the same. And that's the hard thing with running backs. You never know when they're going to deteriorate. Derrick Henry, probably the best running back right now, but can he come back? And everybody's saying, well, he had a little time to recover from a broken foot. But will he ever be the same? He'll run good, but how long can he sustain it? And you got to ask the same thing about Zeke.
Yeah. I'm going to agree.
Can I say this? I mean, how many NFL running backs as starters still average over 4 yards a carry? Ezekiel Elliott still averages over 4 yards a carry. So when people keep saying that he's washed up and he's not good anymore, he's not explosive anymore. I mean, honestly, the Cowboys came out and said the kid was hurt at the end of the season last year. Okay. So I really blame Mike McCarthy for not sitting Zeke in December to get the kid healthy for the playoffs. Now, Zeke is an explosive running back. I can't stand him because he went to Ohio State and I'm a Michigan man. I'm sorry about that. I had to get that disclaimer. But he is an elite running back, elite blocker. And please don't ever sleep on that kid. The kid runs hard and he gets the job done.
Yeah, but how much more can he run that hard? I anticipate the Cowboys letting him go after this year. I anticipate them because he'll be a free agent.
Yeah.
They're not going to re-sign him again.
No,
Yeah, that
23
contract
is
is
a year.
too big. Yeah, that contract's too big.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they're going to release him over money, not over performance.
I would agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I would have given him up for a second or a third round pick, especially this year because he's only got 1 year left. Yeah, Pollard, who I think is a lot more explosive at the back. You know, I'm not worried about Zeke when you guys play us. I am more concerned about Pollard.
Make sure we have this recorded.
I'm going to play it back. I'm
Zeke
gonna
has
play
had
it
some
back.
big games against the Eagles.
Yeah, and
When we
again,
sweep
Zeke
you guys
is
this
just
year, it's going to be all nice. I'm going to be able to say I told you so.
it's just that security blanket that Zeke has.
What team in the NFC East didn't have a win against a winning team?
The Dallas Cowboys?
No.
Yeah.
The Dallas Cowboys did not win a game
It
last
was
year.
Who they
The Philadelphia Eagles.
Eagles did not.
And the Dallas Cowboys.
No, it was not.
Then who? Okay, all right. Okay, then who did the Dallas Cowboys beat last year that had a winning record?
New England.
Yeah.
No, New England did not. They were 2-4.
New England did have a winning
Check
record.
it. Check it.
And also,
They went on that run. They were 2-4.
That's
Look it
not
up.
what we're talking about.
We said
because I tell you what,
record
the
during the
Eagles
season.
did beat the Saints last year, and they were 9-8 as well. So don't tell me about that. If you want to play that game, we can play the
They
game.
didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah, but they were 9-8, which is a winning record. That's what you just talked about. That's what you talked about, right? We beat the Saints. They were 9-8.
Everybody beat the Saints.
Yeah, we did.
But doesn't matter.
No. At the
I
time,
didn't beat them.
hold on.
We didn't beat
At the
I'm
time,
sorry.
when the Cowboys played a team with a winning record,
Beat the Saints.
we did. Yeah, we did too. But no, what I'm saying is at the time, when the Cowboys played against a team with a winning record, they did not win the whole season. Yeah. And the Chargers were 1-1, so that don't even count.
Oh my!
And that was the second game of the season.
Now you changed the rules.
Yeah,
Well, it wasn't a winning record.
Hey, this is an Eagle Cowboy thing.
He always changed the rule to fit his narrative.
Hey, you know I speak
Of course,
facts.
that's PG. That's PG.
Hey, you know I speak facts. I do have a guy, my homeboy Tank, who is a diehard Cowboys fan on here. He said Zeke needs to go.
There we go. There we go. There we go. Just so that you know, Carolina was 3-0 when we played them, and we
No, that was
smacked
the
them.
Cowboys. That was the Cowboys. That was the Cowboys that
Yes,
beat them when they were
Cowboys
3-0
beat them when they
in
were
Dallas
3-0.
because the
And we beat them
Carolina
in a winning
Panthers.
record too. We played them right after you guys.
No. Because the Carolina Panthers had the #1 defense at the time.
Yes.
Okay, they were 3-0, and the Cowboys went in there and spanked at AT&T 5 minutes from
I
my
was at
house
the game.
and stomped them. Okay, so try again, little fella.
And then we played them right afterwards in Carolina and spanked them again.
What y'all win by 1?
No, we won by 4. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
That's not a spanking. That's
We won the
you
game.
escape with your life.
We won the game.
Anyway, Jim only has a few more minutes. Can you get back to Jim?
So,
Thank you,
all right,
Chris.
so then let's go to this question. What has been the Cowboys' problem in the playoffs? Why is it that they have not been able to win they haven't been able to get anywhere further than the Eagles have? Every year that the Eagles have made it to the playoffs, they have gone off in the same exact spot.
First of all, that's not true because the Eagles won a Super Bowl. But
that is correct. I'm glad you brought that up.
But the problem with the Cowboys is, especially when you're playing the better teams, is you got to be more disciplined. And as you can see, they've been undisciplined in the playoffs, and that gets them. San Francisco is a great example. If they were more disciplined, they had a possibility of beating them, and then makes silly things. I mean, that not knowing how much time on the clock and hand the ball to the referee, things like that. That's discipline. I mean, that's things that you have to do to be
discipline. I'm sorry to cut you off too, but discipline from head to toe. Because at first I thought it was a play, the last play of the game. I thought that was Dak's audible. But no, that was the play call. Why the hell would you tell your quarterback to run in the middle of the field when clearly you had the outs open? The last 30 seconds, I mean, they were driving meticulously down the field. And they were hitting them on the outs. And then even the run that he had, they were still open for at least a 5-yard dump or something. I mean, the play calling too.
That right there, that last play, whatever, is irrelevant in that game itself. Yeah, they could have did whatever. It should have, could have, would have. But as it, Jim says, it was the discipline from the head coaching position to make the right calls, give Dak Prescott the best plays available. And that's what they didn't do. They did not give the best plays available to Dak Prescott to be calling in those huddles. And when you saw it from the very beginning, when they went up 13-0, it was like, okay, wait a minute. The defense did their job holding the offense of San Francisco to what they needed to. It was the offense that didn't do their job. They couldn't move that ball for anything.
And also true, the problem they had is you get 14 penalties in the playoffs.
Yeah.
You lose. Let's be honest.
That's it.
You're not going to win games being penalized that much. And they were the most
Even if you're the PFF rated number 2 offensive coordinator in the league.
But and again, it leads to them holding calls by Connor. Hold, offside
by Randy Gregory.
Offside, yep. Offsides. It was just a whole array of things on the offensive play calling, plus the offensive line that did themselves in. You can't be setting yourself back. There was big plays that the Cowboys had that just were brought back because of those penalties.
Now, the best thing that ever came out of Pennsylvania is Micah Parsons.
No, well, we'll see. Look, Barker's going to get rid of that mental block, and he's going to come out eating this year. Now, I want to say another thing, too, about that playoff game last year. We got to give some credit to that 49er defense. They was fast. They was all over that field. I mean, we can't sit here and say because offensive line, that defense was dominating in the first half. And it kind of drifted off a little bit, maybe in the end of the third, beginning of the fourth, just to like the Dallas Cowboy fan base when they were, leaving as quick enough as you could say exodus, in the AT&T Stadium. We got to give some
kind of like when the Cowboys were playing the Giants and when you were exiting the stadium.
No. I stayed the whole game. I stayed, and them tickets weren't cheap, Jim. I stayed the whole game. I had eat cereal and bologna the whole rest of the year.
I want to answer your question, Philly. I want to answer your question. All right, somebody left this comment on one of my TikToks, and it made perfect sense to me. They said, everybody always bring up 27 years since the Cowboys went to the Super Bowl. Sneaky has a sign.
This guy.
But each year, it's a different team, okay? So if it's a different team, I can see if you say, hey, this team didn't perform, they didn't go where they need to go, okay? This coaching staff didn't perform, and they didn't go where they need to go. I think every time you change a coaching staff, you change a regime, so it starts all over. Okay, so to me, we hadn't been good enough from the coaching to get there. And the reason I said it, because every year I always say Cowboys got the most talent in the NFL. You hear it every day.
On
Cowboys
paper.
got the most talent on paper. We're the most talented team. So if that's so, shouldn't we have our coach develop the talent and
Chris,
get us there?
Let me add to that. And Jim, please forgive me.
Ryan, we need to hear you.
Oh yeah, you got something to say, Pork Ryan? Go ahead.
I hate the Cowboys. I mean, what are you gonna say?
My man.
I'll just sit back.
He was laying back in the cut. See, it's always the quiet ones. It's always the quiet ones.
Pork Ryan, to make you feel better, Pork Ryan,
My man.
my son is a Commander fan. He's
Hey,
been a
smart
Commander
kid.
fan his whole
Smart
life.
kid.
It's hard for me, but
I'm
it's
sure.
the truth.
He said,
Okay.
we haven't heard from you all game. What do you got to say, Pork Ryan? I hate Cowboys.
Hey, and I love that he hate them because it's the truth. It's only one team in the NFL I hate, and they know who they are. It ain't the Commanders, and it ain't the Giants.
Oh,
It's the Eagles.
Anybody boo Santa Claus?
Yeah.
anybody eat horse
we
boo
didn't go him. We threw snowballs at him. And get it right.
And
He was a bad
batteries.
Santa.
And they even have a court in the stadium. What kind of joke is that?
No.
That was the old one.
That was the vet.
That was the vet.
Oh,
Now, Jim,
Now it's across the street.
okay. I hate to ask this, but I got to ask this because I work in an office full of Dallas Cowboy fans.
you're
'Cause
blessed.
Because I live in Dallas. Blessed, yeah. We all have our own opinion on that, okay? The question that I have for you is, and it's a common fact. Now, I know you have a great relationship with Jerry Jones.
Yes.
I too would like to meet him someday. Anyway, I'm kidding, but I get a lot of people saying, I'm not going to follow we're not going anywhere until Jerry Jones is gone. 2, I'm not going to follow the Cowboys until he's gone. 3, I just don't like Jerry because he fired Tom Landry, all these other stuff. What can you say? Put the Jerry Jones hat on. You're gonna, this is your time for him. What can you say to those fans that want nothing to do with the Cowboys because of the owner and because they don't want to hire, or because he doesn't want to hire a GM? What do you say to them?
Well, here's the thing. I done spent $180 million for a team. If I'm spending $180 million, I'm gonna make sure that I'm the GM. To be honest with you, I'm gonna be the guy. And there are teams like that don't have so-called GM that have had success. You got to have the right people in the right places. And that's the truth. I mean, you look at it, there have been some successful, they haven't won Super Bowls, but there have been successful.
Yeah, exactly. Because there hasn't really been any team that had that type of success. You could arguably say that the success from your last 3 Super Bowls was because of Jimmy Johnson and not because of Jones.
Yeah, but Paul Brown is not Paul Brown, but Mike Brown. Basically, he's so-called the GM of Cincinnati, and they went to the playoffs, correct? And we're in the Super Bowl. So, that's not the thing. It is getting the right people in the right place.
And I don't know if you saw the latest news too. And if you don't, please don't answer if you don't want to. I just want to bring this up. Is when during the Hall of Fame game, true, you were there. He told everybody that he was going to put Jimmy Johnson in the Ring of Honor. That has yet to happen. And unfortunately, the thing about video is that they have evidence, and then they brought him up again asking about that, and he said, "I don't talk about that."
What?
So
I mean, not for nothing. Only because I was there for that game.
Right, true. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so basically they showed Jerry Jones saying that he's going to put Jimmy Johnson in the Ring of Honor. Then in 2022, was it the Super Bowl or something, true? That he made a comment that he was asked the same question about the Ring of Honor, and he says, "I don't discuss Ring of Honor outside of Dallas." He said, "I just don't discuss matters regarding the Ring of Honor." when in fact he did talk about that.
Yes, he did, and that's wrong.
Jimmy
should be in the Hall of Fame. I mean, excuse me, the Ring of Honor. Coaches in the Hall of Fame should be in the Ring of Honor. I agree with that.
Yeah.
You know, that's just something that goes back to Arkansas because they played against each other.
What did they do when we were there?
No, so
what did they do when we were there?
At the Hall of Fame, Jerry Jones said that he's going to put Jimmy.
That's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm
talking about. No, at the game when Jimmy, that was
about last year.
Announcing all the players, all the people that were obviously Jimmy was in the Hall of Fame, and that was a ceremony for him and Drew Pearson and Cliff Harris. That was a ceremony so they can get their Super Bowl rings and jackets.
Yeah,
if you remember. I'm not Super Bowl, but Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where they were presented.
So that's all that was. It wasn't anything beyond that.
I don't like the well, I can't even call them the Redskins. The Commanders. They don't even have a real name.
I don't like the name either. So
I call them the Commodores.
I call them
everybody else because that's a good one.
When I think of Commanders, I think of Galaxy Quest. They heard it, you know. Never give up, never surrender. You know, that's the new Redskin. I'm sorry, Commanders logo, Commodore 64, whatever. You know, that's old school right there. So Jim,
I tell you, I listening to all that and hearing all this, it still didn't answer my question in terms of what do you feel, what do you think is going to get them over the hump to win a playoff game?
To get them over the hump, they have to be more disciplined. And I think they have to utilize what talent. They're not the most talented team in the NFC East anymore. So they have to utilize their talent and put them in positions to be successful. They cannot go off the pass. They got to move along. How do we get CeeDee Lamb open? When are we going to have Michael Gallup back? Can Tolbert be that third receiver? These are things they have to do, but they have to put them in positions just like they do in San Francisco with Deebo Sanders. Put them in positions to help them be successful. Even Zeke Elliott and Pollard. They just like they're talking about doing with Saquon Barkley at the Giants. You might have to move them around and put them in unusual positions to force the defenses to adjust.
Well, Jim, he has a great position on the IR, so that's
for you.
He's not going to play anyway. To get over the hump, man. I'm with Jim though, man. The discipline is just ridiculous to me. It just reminded me of old Raider teams, you know, just undisciplined, just doing crap that they know better. It's just like, man, you were taught this in Pee Wee football, you know. So, you know, to see that, and then I blamed it on Mike McCarthy. I blamed it 100% on him.
And I can't argue with
you. The head coach, it puts the discipline in from day one. Okay, a lot of people. Go ahead, Jim. I'm sorry.
No, you're right, but he has to hold them accountable. That's the thing in this day and era. Players don't want to be held accountable. Nope. And that's scary.
Yeah.
On any team.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't have to call them out in the press, but you got to
shout out Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. You're right, but
see,
you have to call them in the office and say, hey, this is not the way we're going to do it. You know, everybody argues about Belichick, but Belichick holds those players accountable.
Yeah.
That's the Patriot way.
Yeah. Get mad as you want, but the Patriot way works. And then the thing that happened in Philly with Fletcher Jenkins. They didn't say that he never went after him in the press. I'm guarantee you that Nick called him in the office and said, hey, we're not going to do it. This is not going to work this way. Because it all changed after that, if you notice.
Yeah.
And that's what you have to do. You have to hold you have players that have to hold each other accountable, and coaches have to hold them accountable.
There's one thing that I've seen different this offseason, and that's Dak Prescott in the leadership position that he's taken and he's pushing forward. He's making the phone calls to the wide receivers. He's making phone calls to the linemen. these things to try and get situated. I think what he needs to do better from a leadership position is get those wide receivers to start discussing with them one-on-one plays. You've got to take advantage of that defense when you have the opportunities. And that's what I haven't seen in the past 5 years from Dak, is seeing these positions that he's got to take the opportunity and strike when he can with the secondary. Who's ever on whoever, he just needs to take the opportunity as a leader and say, hey, I'm going to read you. You're going to get open. We're going to do this. It hasn't happened yet. You got to go through it all.
So, if I may, I know earlier we talked about Mike McCarthy and Jerry Jones giving him the vote of confidence. I must have did something wrong on Google search. All I saw was Stephen Jones giving him the vote of confidence. I haven't seen anything about Jerry.
On Pro Football Talk.
Pro Football Talk? Okay.
Yes, look that up.
Check that out. Okay.
You'll see him, but he did give him a vote of confidence.
Yeah, I'll write that down.
So that being said, now with this fresh vote of confidence, which I hope he's the coach forever, because I think he stinks out loud. But that's beside the point. What do you think the Cowboys need to do to repeat as division champions?
Beat all the teams in the NFC East again? No, but
win more games than everybody.
Just realize, like everybody's telling the truth, they don't have the talent, so they have to be more structured and more diligent on getting things done the right way. If they do these things, they'll have an opportunity, because, like I said, every team in the NFC East has gotten better. There's no team that's going to be an easy win. You're not going to beat teams and score 50-something points this year like you did last against that team from, where was it, Philadelphia?
Washington.
I was there.
Yeah. Those teams. You're not going to do that. Let's be realistic. It's not happening. You're going to have the games are going to be closer, and they're going to be more competitive. So the thing they have to do is make sure that they're not hurting themselves. Self-inflicted wounds. They can't do that and win.
And that's the thing, too. Last year's defense did what they had to do. It was the offensive side that I wasn't seeing. Defense made the stops when they did New England, for example. That game, I was sitting right there on the 50-yard line. Every time the defense came to the sideline, they got spoke to from the coaches. It was when the offense came off the side, I just didn't see that same interaction between the coaches and the players. I think that's something that it all falls back on the leadership of the coaches. The coaches have to express what they need to have done on the field. And I'm hoping I see more of that on the sideline this year, because I went to pretty much every game on the road right behind my Cowboys, and you just didn't see it. You can physically not see it. You had the personnel coaches, the line coaches with the line, the DB, but you didn't have that one coach going up and barking up and down like you guys did in the 90s, where somebody would be leading and say, hey, we're going to do this. We're going to win this game.
We had players like that, too.
Exactly.
Really, the coaches didn't have to do it.
Exactly.
We held each other accountable.
And that's what I like.
Yeah.
That's what I want. And that's what I haven't seen.
Here's the other thing that I kind of felt just from talking to Sneaky and a few other people who were at that playoff game, that when you guys played the Eagles in your first home game, I was standing right next to you, Drew, and I had said that I had never felt so much electricity in that building. That that crowd was a different type of crowd. I've never heard them go Eagles sucks chants. I've never seen them go as they were a volatile crowd, and it was very electric. I felt that the Eagles were going into a buzzsaw that game, and that we were. It didn't seem like they had that same enthusiasm for the playoffs.
I mean, yeah, when you're
talking the crowd, not the player.
Right, when you're down 21-0, or was it 21-7 at halftime? It's really hard to get pumped up. It's really, or 22 with 22. It's really hard because in the beginning, I'm telling you, that first half was a whole different. That 49er team was a whole different. They came to play. They were prepared.
Well,
And not because I don't like the Dallas Cowboys, but I'm not gonna lie to you. When they stepped on the field for the first 5 minutes, I got worried. But for at the remaining of the first quarter, I'm like, are they really playing like this? That's exactly what my attitude was. And the fact that the 49er defense was dominating. And I'm going to say this too. When Jimmy G was dropping back to pass, I'm like, oh my God, don't throw a pick.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that as well. However, it was, you're right. It was a different game, different feel. And I mean, 49ers came out to play. They were prepared.
Well, they had no answer for Debo. They had
That
no
too.
answer.
Yes. Yep. That too.
They had no answer for Debo. And the 49ers defense is one of the best in the NFL at this time. So, I mean, they're good enough to do things like that.
But and then isn't Debo still on some contract talks or whatever?
He wants to come to Dallas.
Not everybody want to come to Dallas, Jim.
That's right. That's right.
You're a Giants fan and you're in Dallas.
I came to Dallas for the barbecue. That's why I came to Dallas.
Max said he wants to come to Dallas. He wants to still be a Phillies fan, but he wants to live in Dallas.
He wants to go to Sullivan's Barbecue. And I need to take you there too. I need to take you there too, Jim. So
what, the Sullivan's?
Sullivan's Barbecue.
Barbecue place the last time I was there.
Well, we went to Hard Eights last time. That's before I knew the truth, which is Sullivan's Barbecue. That's and they're not even paying me to say that.
If that game there, if that game's there, Mario, I will be there.
Hey, we haven't talked about the Commanders. I want to hear.
We normally don't talk about the Commanders. Come on, Portland, tell me you hate the Dallas Cowboys again.
I hate the Cowboys.
Okay, thank you.
But we're gonna win the East this year. This is gonna be our year. Carson Wentz is gonna. I'm telling you. All right.
So Jim, you saw the fines come out for both.
Hold on a second. Cowboys. We said we haven't heard from Pork Rind. Pork Rind talking like, anyway, Jim. Hey, I'm
used to it.
Well,
I love you, Pork Rind.
It does revolve around Pork Rind as well because the fines came out for the Cowboys and the Commanders.
That's true.
For
too much physical in practice.
Yeah, too physical.
I can't understand this. How can physical you can be when you're in shorts? I can never understand that.
Well, see, that's what I was going to ask. Is that coming from the Players Association?
No, it's coming from the NFL, but they video every practice. Video every practice. So they'll see, hey, you might have a pass rush drill, and the guy is too physical rushing the quarterback. And when you have a younger team, that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Now with the Washington Commanders, what happened is they kept falling down, and they thought it was too physical.
Hey, I was at one of the OTAs, and it definitely was not that physical.
See, I told you. They
don't say that word.
They didn't realize it was the Commanders.
They must have been in the stands, trying to just get over the railing. Like just
there you go.
Try to give a high five over the railing.
They were trying to get out of the field, off the field, because hey, who wants to play for the Commanders?
Well, see,
Commanders.
I'm hoping I can see some video of the actual contact that's in question here to see how physical it was. To say, okay, well, this was physical
for both teams, really.
Yeah. I just want to see it come out, or
Did you notice that Philly never got anything about being too physical? Oh,
yeah, that's because we didn't have OTAs. We canceled all the OTAs
because you're that good.
Exactly.
I got to get going.
All right.
In Texas, I got to get going. But hey, I enjoyed this. I really
appreciate
we always love having you, Jim.
But I just put up with you three down on the
bottom. Jim, I appreciate it. I'll see you today. You can see Jim on every Wednesday with Byron.
One of my great friends.
What's it at 8 o'clock? 8 o'clock Wednesday nights?
It's 8 o'clock Eastern time, 7 o'clock Central time.
right? And that's
I'm gonna have you guys
JD
on.
Barber Shop.
I'm gonna have you guys on, and we're gonna do an NFC East preview.
Yeah, there you go.
And so, just Jim, I will say this: if I had one thing nice to say about Dallas Cowboys, it's a pleasure to meet you. That's the one thing, because I got to meet Jim Jeffcoat. That's the only good thing.
25 minutes from the Meadowlands, so you know.
Oh, I know you're a Giants fan, die hard. I know.
I was a Giants fan until give me that check. Now go Cowboys.
And you're an Arizona Wildcat fan too. Arizona Wildcat.
I will never be an
He has to go, Sneaky. Let Jim go.
I know.
Okay.
Later, Jim. I had to throw that
guys,
in there.
have a good day.
All right. Thank
All
you,
right.
Jim.
All right. Fly away, Eagles.
Had to get the last word in.
It's
always. That's always.
This right here is phenomenal. I mean, we know Jim Jeffcoat. I mean, he is truly not just a guest on the show; he is a friend. And we all got to talk to him extensively. Even Chris did. Cowboy Chris got to speak with him a few weeks ago, and he's just a good guy. Yes, I'm saying something nice about the Dallas Cowboys. Not necessarily Dallas Cowboys, but Jim Jeffcoat. Yeah, just him. Just him.
Well, I do a thing with him every Sunday, and
$20
we go back and forth all the time. I missed it.
I forgot to ask Jim, does he tuck or untuck?
Oh my God, we forgot to ask him.
3 weeks in a row, I thought it was gone.
Get it back.
Philly, did you see the TikTok that I tagged you in?
I have seen them.
Okay.
I have seen them all.
Okay. All right.
The TikToks are still flowing. I love how you guys are only asking people that you know are going to straight out say, like you ask any millennial, the millennial don't ever tuck anything in, let alone if they're going to tuck in a jersey.
Well, millennial, it depends on what millennial you ask. I mean,
my mother
they
is
might
happy you called her a millennial. I'm gonna tell her. I said, Mom, you're a millennial.
Yeah, but your mother doesn't wear a jersey.
She actually does on football Sunday. She does. She does,
and she doesn't ever tuck it in ever. Your son was like, he's like he tucks it in sometimes. I know that you're sitting there on the other side of the camera saying, say no. You know what I mean? I know.
Hey, if that's the case, hell, I would tell him he would never be a Commander fan if I'm telling him no. Hey, the kid made his own decision. Sometimes it's wrong decision. I'm sorry.
That sounds like bad parenting to me.
Pork Rind would disagree.
He
Pork
did
Rind would
just
be like, that's great parenting.
he is just fine.
Just fine.
And Pork Rind, when I say he is diehard, dude, he is diehard. He's having trouble even calling them Commanders because everything he got is Redskin this, Redskin that. I mean, his favorite player of all time was Chris Cooley, okay, and then his second was Taylor, the kid that passed away, Sean Taylor. So you can't tell him anything about those Commanders, okay? He's matter of fact, and he's calling me now. So, but yeah, man, the kid.
I got to say this about the Commanders. The lack of disrespect for Doug Williams is strong. Like rarely does anybody bring him up.
Yeah,
that was the man that did the damn thing.
Yep.
I mean, and so did Mark Ripien and Joe Theismann. Yes. That
he's involved with the organization. So I mean, maybe outside the Commanders, maybe he's
just in general to speak. That's what I think.
Well, just people. I mean, because honestly, when I think of, I'm gonna say it. When I think of Washington, I think of Doug Williams. I don't think anybody else, or even the run sprint option. I think that Mark Ripien's offense that he had, the run sprint option. That's what they call it.
I think of Theismann. I think of Theismann and Riggins.
Yeah,
I think of Riggins. That's who I think of.
And I think of Riggins
for me. And the Hawks.
I think of the offensive line.
Yeah.
I mean, when I think of the Giants, I think of Phil Simms, Lawrence Taylor, Leonard Marshall, Big Blue Wrecking Crew, Stephen Baker, the touchdown man. I mean, that list just goes on.
I think the list just ended.
I don't know where the list goes, but
Brandon Jacobs.
Mike Glennon.
I will choke you. I will choke you. You're lucky I'm not a Jedi. I'd be like,
yeah, the great Mike Glennon. The
Is he
great
still on the
Mike
team?
Glennon.
no. Am I on the team? There's your answer.
I just want to make sure. Like,
Are
I
you
thought
suiting
he
up for
might
the
be
Eagles
competing for a
next
job.
year for 2022?
He suits up every week.
Oh, that's true. Yes. You should say yes, but yes, I am sneaky. I sure am. Yeah. But that, I mean, think about it, guys. We just had an awesome moment, and the fact that we just do this because of the fact we love our team. We are passionate about our team, and hopefully, we can. I'm gonna get one of my guys on there. I'm gonna get him on there. I'm gonna get him on here. It's gonna happen. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it.
I was just looking at the calendar earlier today, and I was like, man, just 6 weeks, 6 weeks till training camp.
Okay, Chris, how many times you gonna ask me this damn question? Is the Pope Catholic?
Hey,
Yes.
I
have believe in Daniel Jones still.
Hey, Philly sports guy, I just got a text from my mother. Tell that Philly guy he don't know me.
I'll make him leak.
At least he's watching the show.
I'll cut him.
Hey, don't play with moms, man. She got hands. She got hands, bro.
Wait, who's your mom's favorite team?
Come on.
Giants? Okay, I thought so. I didn't want to say it, but
The Giants.
Bro.
I see your question, Dev. Gallup, he won't be back before the season. I think he's going to be rehabbing up until week 2. He might come back week 2.
When did he get hurt? He got hurt
reading
late, didn't he?
Late. Was it the second to last game or was it a playoff game?
No, he didn't get hurt in the playoff game.
It wasn't a playoff game?
No.
I'm thinking like 15 or week 15 or 16.
It was towards the end of the season.
Yeah, it was week 16, I believe,
16,
when he was
okay.
in that end zone. Yeah, that was sad to see, but yeah, I'm going to say he's going to come back week 2.
The fact that they're coming back before a year before the injury even happened is just
amazing.
Good God.
Adrian Peterson did it.
Yeah.
That's that nitrogen bad. That's
You
that
know,
nitrogen
hey,
bad.
that's no lie. That is no lie. That's the real deal.
I might need to take some of those baths.
It doesn't help you get your homework done.
You still got to study for that one.
I know with two of you, I got to step up my beard game because Pork Rind and True Blue. God, man, I got to get my beard together. I know Philly people can't grow
Chris,
hair. So
I'm
that's okay.
right here.
No, yours
You could at least waited till I left the room.
Yours is an adolescent beard. It hasn't fully
Adolescent?
matured. But Pork Rind and True Blue got the real thing.
My beard is
my game.
luscious. And actually, this is as far as it's going to grow too, by the way. And I will not cut it off for nothing. I won't cut it. I won't shave it for nothing.
There was an update. There was an update as we're talking about shaving.
Oh.
There was an update. Sneaky is not able to make the bet
For the Mohawk. So no, I will not be able to look like Mr. T on a show for the NFC. Yeah. No, I will not pity the fool on the NFC East show anytime soon.
Oh,
so
come on, Sneaky.
I wish I could.
So what is it gonna break down to? A hat?
It's gonna have to be a Sneaky G hat. Yeah, it's gonna have to. Either I pay it or whoever wants to take the bet, they pay it. So I'm willing to do that. I mean,
I don't know.
Billy, do you want to
think of something better? I'm gonna think of something better.
Well, I think I'm just gonna go with the hat for now because I'm not doing no. I already got a bet for the waxing, so I can't back out of that one. That's already on the table.
What are you
got
getting
one of those? So I'm not doing, huh?
What are you getting?
Your back waxed?
Well, no, I have a bet with an old high school buddy of mine that we go way back. But he has to come to Dallas. When he comes to Dallas for the Giants Dallas game, the loser has to get their right leg, only their right leg waxed. And I'm talking like the fat meat behind the knee. Yeah, that gotta go too. That gotta get waxed. And like
So
the
the whole
knuckles
leg.
on the toe. Your leg
leg.
gotta be as fresh as a baby's bottom coming out of the thing. I'm not gonna say it on air, but yeah, I'm gonna call it the thing. The thing.
Good luck with that.
Well, when he comes down, look, that's a standing bet. Whenever he comes to Dallas, we're gonna watch the game together. Oh, and then the loser got to buy the winner the jersey of their respective team. So not only will they have pain on their right leg, they'll have pain in the wallet too. So there's a little dollar amount, going on that. So, but right now, I'm willing to throw up a hat. I mean, good for you, good for me. It's a win-win.
Well.
And I already got
I'm just not. I can't do it. I'm. There's no way I can bet on my team. I can't do that. I never have, never will.
It's a friendly bet. That's all. And the hat's only $25.
No.
How about
For
this?
you,
How about
true. For
this?
you, I'll do a layaway plan.
How about this? Sneaky. Since you ain't gonna shave the beard, how about the mustache?
The Abe Lincoln look.
No, I am not. The fact that you have this fascination of shaving something is quite disturbing, Philly.
We
You
had
might
4
want to step away
scores.
from that. Okay.
Hey, that
Well,
may
I'm
be
the
a hot
only one-
look for
I'm
you.
the- I'm the only clean-shaven guy.
Good for you. Good for you. And I'm sure
I
you
know
have
I'm
your
the best
reasons.
looking one here, so it's okay. You know what I mean?
Like I said, everybody's entitled to their opinion. Okay, But
So, look, I tell you,
before, I know we got like a minute left. Philly, today's a special day. It's a bittersweet day. You were talking.
yeah,
earlier?
thank you for bringing that up. I was just about to do it. Today, my mother passed away a couple years ago, but today was her birthday. The first day of summer. And it's her birthday, so I wanted to wish her a heavenly birthday to my mother and everybody else who's got a birthday, because it seemed like everybody in the world, or half the people in the world, had a birthday today. So,
and I do what I do best. I won't naturally make it into me. No, but seriously, my heart goes out to you. Seriously, man. With your mom, and happy heavenly birthday too. But yeah, yesterday was the first Father's Day without my pops. It was kind of tough, but my family, Mama Boss and the Gremlins, they AKA Crumb Snatchers, they kind of spoiled me. So
Way to go.
Real quick before
happy Father's Day to all the dads out there.
real quick before we go, Mom say everybody's beards look great except. Sorry, Philly.
that's all right. On that note, we got to say goodbye because we're already a few seconds behind. So, as always,
let's go Giants.
Tune in next Monday when we'll have the next NFC show. We're going to take a week off from the Eagles, so it's going to be an extra one off because I'm going to be on vacation. It's going to be a lot harder for me to get a hold of anybody.
Dallas Cowboys for life.
Thank you, everybody.
Cowboys?
See you all next Monday. Go Birds.
Go Commanders. Cowboys suck.
Bro, that was clutch. Pork Run, we haven't heard from you at all. What do you got to say about yourself, Cowboys? I hate the Dallas Cowboys.
I loved it. It was so funny. I was just
awesome.
laying back in the cut the whole time. I'm cool. I'm chilling. I hate the Cowboys.